We are now going to start the second hour. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of John Stroley, one of our instructors, and Julie Cortez, también one of our Spanish instructors that I've already acknowledged the others, so they know. Our first presenter this afternoon is Jessica Luong, and Jessica is going to speak about el impacto que tiene el estudiar en España en la identidad y el estilo de vida del estudiante, the impact of studying abroad in Spain on the student's identity and lifestyle. Jessica.
Gracias. Hola, buenas tardes. Me llamo Jessica y mi proyecto es sobre el impacto que tiene el estudiar en España en la identidad y el estilo de vida del estudiante. Y para el esquema, voy a hablar del abstracto, el propósito, los participantes, el método, las entrevistas, los temas y los resultados. El impacto de los programas en el extranjero toma un papel importante en el aumento de la comprensión mutua entre la gente de diferentes países y el desarrollo del propio autoconcepto. Dejando el país de origen entrar a un país extranjero, los estudiantes son sometidos a sentir una sensación de golpe cultural en un ambiente desconocido. El golpe cultural describe cómo se sienten cuando se encuentran en una cultura desconocida, cual es diferente de la suya. A justo de la cultura se encuentra que es clave para la construcción de la propia identidad cultural mediante la identificación con el país de origen y del país de acogida. En este estudio se invitó a 6 estudiantes para hablar sobre cómo la experiencia de estudiar en España cambió su punto de vista. En concreto, he tratado de entender cómo esta experiencia cambia su entendimiento de su propia identidad cultural. En este estudio se enfoca en la cultura de vivir en España y la identidad cultural que desarrolla en los estudiantes. El propósito de este proyecto es de iluminar algunas de las maneras en las que viven en un país distinto a su tierra natal, en cual toman un papel importante en la formación de la identidad cultural de las personas. Y esta es la Alhambra cuando estudié en España. Los participantes fueron 6 estudiantes, 4 mujeres y 2 hombres. Son las edades de 22 a 23. Todos los estudiantes son de esta universidad que han estudiado en España, en Granada o en Madrid, por un año. Y los grupos étnicos son 67% de hispánicos y 33% de los europeos-americanos. El método. Primero es buscar a los estudiantes en esta universidad que han estudiado en España por un año. Después, llevar a cabo entrevistas profundizadas. Y las preguntas de las entrevistas se enfocaron en desafíos culturales, el crecimiento personal, el golpe cultural inverso, diferencias en lingüísticas, conciencia de su identidad cultural y los sentimientos de la experiencia. En el análisis. El análisis en entender las entrevistas en conexión con el estudio es hacer entrevistas, o sea, las transferencias de las narraciones de audio a la escritura. Después identifiqué y desarrollé los conceptos. Y fin, busqué un tema común de los estudiantes en sus experiencias estudiar en España. Para los resultados, encontré que el golpe cultural inverso era más difícil de enfrentar que un golpe cultural. Los estudiantes se sentían más distanciados de volver a su propio país a causa del éxito que han tenido en la adaptación de España. A lo largo de esta experiencia, los estudiantes extranjeros se vieron más conscientes de su propia identidad cultural, de aculturación en la cultura acogida. Y los temas que encontré son identidad cultural y el golpe cultural inverso. Para identidad cultural, las formas de comportamiento en las interacciones que se identifican con los miembros de un grupo cultural. Y ¿qué es el golpe cultural inverso? Es cuando las personas se han vivido y estudiado en el extranjero, a menudo han utilizado el término el golpe cultural para describir el periodo del justo que experimentan cuando vuelven a casa, en este caso en los Estados Unidos. Y poner algunas narraciones de los estudiantes. Para identidad cultural, un estudiante dijo: ser mexicano, incorporo mis valores y los morales con los que me crié, también la comida y música. No fue hasta que me fui a España cuando me di cuenta de lo mucho que mi cultura basa mi comportamiento y extrañaba la cultura mexicana mientras estaba en España. Me hizo más orgullosa de mi cultura y de ser parte de ella. Y otro estudiante dijo: creo que la cultura es una parte enorme de mi transformación en la comprensión de lo que es la cultura y lo que soy, y ser capaz de decir la diferencia entre las culturas, porque no sabes lo que es cultura hasta que usted haya estado en algún lugar por un periodo extenso. Para el golpe cultural inverso, un estudiante dijo: estar de vuelta en los Estados Unidos fue un gran golpe cultural. Me di cuenta de la mentalidad de los estadounidenses. Todo el mundo siempre aspira a más, esforzándose demasiado. Fue difícil adaptarse a vivir en Monterrey. En la escuela, socializar con la gente, y me tomó casi un año para adaptar. Otro estudiante. Yo estaba muy estresado y me sentí presionado cuando volví a los Estados Unidos. Vivimos en una sociedad en la que estamos hambrientos por el dinero. Me di cuenta de que estaba tirado en un estilo de vida sin aún estar listo a regresar. En conclusión, el hallazgo más interesante de este estudio ilumina además un concepto llamado el golpe cultural inverso. Todos los estudiantes que estudiaron en extranjero informaron haber enfrentado desafíos a reingresar a los Estados Unidos, y sus descripciones sugieren que experimentaron aculturación de nuevo. Los estudiantes fueron capaces de captar un mejor entendimiento de la cultura con la cual se identifican y recibieron una gran cantidad de respeto por tener la cultura con la cual por tener la oportunidad de estar expuestos a diferentes culturas. Y espero que este estudio muestre el significado en comprender los dinámicos de una cultura y cómo esta forma la identidad del estudiante. Y es todo. Questions?
Yes. I know you interview some people, but what about yourself? You went through that process.
Yes.
So how do you feel about that experience, the process of being abroad, how that influenced your personal identity, and did you go through the reverse
For me,
culture
it
shock?
was difficult because I have two identities that I identify with, my American identity and my Chinese identity. When I was in Spain, I felt like I was losing my Chinese because I wasn't speaking it very often. And it was hard coming back. I had to get back into the mode of speaking Chinese because my parents don't speak English, and that was my only way to communicate with them. And coming back here, I felt kind of lost, and I didn't know what to do because there is so much to see and so much to explore, so much to learn when I was in Spain, that coming here, everything almost felt boring. And everything was so big that you have to drive everywhere, whereas in Spain, you can walk everywhere. And I learned a lot about the Spanish culture and how the Spaniards lived when they were in Spain, and it made me reflect on my own culture and things I missed, like jasmine rice. And I found a lot of Chinese stores there that made me feel a little bit of home, made me feel like I have family. So I would visit them often, even though my Spanish was better than my Chinese there. But it was definitely an experience that I will never forget.
He asked my question. I was going to ask.
Yes, Dr. Strong?
Yes, I spent a few years working with students going back and forth between cultures. And one of the lines I used to use when encouraging people to study abroad is that one of the consequences of your experience is you will never be happy again. And by that I meant you will always be restless,
Right.
because you will always find yourself thinking about the culture you experienced, the culture you came from, and maybe some others that you'd like to try out
Right.
in the rest of your life. Does that fit with your experience?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I did not want to come back. I'm like, Mom, I'm staying here. And I work at the study abroad program, so I'm always encouraging students to study abroad, and it's definitely not as scary as they would think it is. And what else? What else did you mention? I'm
Well,
sorry.
it was just that you always have that in the back of your mind, that kind of gnawing urge to try some new culture out, or look
Right.
for some new opportunity to include it, and of course reflect on it.
Right.
So that your view of the world is going to be very
Very
different
different.
from the monoculture view of the world of a lot of people who surround you.
Well, because when I went to Spain, I would meet people from different cultures coming from different countries. And it's different meeting different cultures when I was in Spain, because they were people who are from that country, versus here you meet people who are from different cultures, but they're American. And it's just a different perspective in getting to know them. And it's something I really appreciate, to have that open mind and to learn more about different cultures. And maybe incorporate them into my own values and beliefs.
I was just curious, have you looked at any studies done of this type, where the greater numbers of students and possibly students that have been in other countries, say Germany, Italy, France, would they have gone through this same type
Reverse
of-
culture shock?
Yes.
Yes, I've done many, I've found many studies who have found that if a student was more successful in adapting to the host culture, coming back would be more difficult because they've immersed themselves into that culture and kind of found a piece of that in their heart. And coming back here, they just, America felt foreign to them. And like me, felt lost and don't know what to do. Trying to adapt back to your old ways is hard because you've been exposed to many new aspects of the world.
How long did it take for your interviewees, and even for yourself, the initial culture shock in studying abroad? I mean, it happens, right? How long did that
That
process last for you?
for you to level out,
Yeah.
it took me about, I'm probably still trying to level out right now, but
No, not
I'd say-
back. In Spain, going to Spain. When the
It
initial
took-
culture shock.
it took me 3 months. It took a couple, the other students, at least 3 to 4 months to get adjusted. And once they're adjusted, it's like, oh, I'm good, I live here. I'm a Spaniard, so they say. Yeah, because it takes you a while to understand how the natives' lifestyle are, their language, and living there was very different. There are many things, many privileges we get here that we don't get there. For some people, living on their own is very different. We had to find our own apartments within 2 weeks. And many say it's impossible, but you can find it in 1 day. But yeah.
I have a question about emerging into culture. They have two parts, hopefully. Do you think that it's easier to emerge into a host culture, let's say outside of the United States, because of that host?
Because of what?
Because of the country culture?
Uh-huh.
Like in comparison to here in the United States, we are more preserved, we are more individualistic, so it's very difficult to actually merge in the culture.
So you're asking if it's
Is it is easier?
Easier
It
to-
was easier when you study abroad, let's say going to Spain, it was easier for you
to acculturate into their culture versus coming here? Yes. For me, I'm interested in every little thing about culture. And everything when I first landed in Spain, I remember everything I see, I was like, whoa, let's go here, let's go there. I can't wait to travel. And that was the best part, traveling, where you get to learn about different cultures and you have something to look forward to every day. And traveling is so much easier over there than it is here. So I thought it was a lot easier acculturating myself in another country.
People are more
People are more
willing to share.
willing.
More willing to share.
Uh-huh.
To share their traditions, to share their culture than here.
And it's a different culture that maybe you're not used to, and you're learning and you're interested in what they have to say. So it's easier for you to be more intrigued in their culture.
Thank you.